Yo, what's up, guys? I just got done watching the Chicago Bulls beat the Brooklyn Nets. And let me just say, leave a quick like on today's video for last night's huge W. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and leave some comments and questions below today's video. Also, check out my last video if you guys missed it. I was talking about how the Chicago Bulls are reportedly open to trade Coby White. And in my last video, I gave a huge injury update on Coby White. He is expected to return sooner rather than later for the Chicago Bulls. But nonetheless, I'm just going to be breaking down the Brooklyn Nets versus Chicago Bulls game real quick. I'm going to be talking about some trade rumors and just some trade talks that's been going around. You know, Vooch has been getting a lot of hate, and I've even seen a lot of Bulls fans on Twitter and on Facebook want the Bulls to possibly trade him. Also, I'm going to be talking about if the Chicago Bulls should start Derrick Jones Jr. But nonetheless, let's just jump right into it because last night was a great W, especially in the fourth quarter. You know, it's crazy how the Chicago Bulls defense and offense can just flip a switch and just be amazing. And in the fourth quarter last night, the Chicago Bulls put up 42 points and held the Brooklyn Nets to only 17. The Chicago Bulls are now 7-3 on the season. You know, huge shout out to Demar and Zach. They both played amazing. Demar 28 and Zach with 24. And huge shout out to the Chicago Bulls bench mob. I feel like every game that the Bulls come back in or just win, the bench mob has been great for the Chicago Bulls. They've been really solid in some games, you know, not the most consistent, I'd say, but Javonte Green even played solid. You know, Vooch kind of did struggle here and there. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but Caruso was playing great defense. Huge shout out to Io. He played amazing off the bench with 15 points. I really like what I see from Derrick Jones Jr. and Tony Bradley, even though they're only getting about 15 minutes a night. I would like to see them more on the court, but nonetheless, leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about last night's W. It's great to see that the Chicago Bulls bounced back and got a huge W against the Brooklyn Nets. You know, the Chicago Bulls, I'd say, have now beat two really good teams in the Utah Jazz and the Brooklyn Nets to start this season. I'm just really happy. I'm really excited. But nonetheless, like I said, leave some comments and questions below today's video about last night's game. And I'm just going to jump right into the first topic. And let's be honest, to start the season, Vooch just hasn't looked the same. He just hasn't looked that comfortable on the court with the new additions to this Bulls roster. He just hasn't been the same. You can look at his shooting percentages, his shot selection. You know, he's missing easy shots here and there. And for the past few weeks, I've seen many Bulls fans on Twitter and Facebook saying that the Bulls should just trade him, and they've just talked about how bad he has struggled. You know, last night, I'm going to be honest, he really didn't even play that good either. And against a very small Brooklyn Nets team, I feel like Vooch could have had an easy 20-10 game. You know, he did play 33 minutes last night. He only shot 5 of 14 from the field. You know, even though Vooch has struggled to start this season, in most Bulls W's, he's hit big shots in the fourth quarter like he did just last night. He still played a solid game for the Chicago Bulls, but just not the game that I'd expect versus a small team like the Brooklyn Nets, especially, you know, Vooch is an all-star. He's a very good shooter. I mean, you could look at his shooting percentages throughout his career. You know, he didn't play terrible last night, just not the standard that I hold him to, and I know he's not happy with his play to start the season. I know he did say, you know, he starts the NBA season off slow, but it's been about 10 games now, and if this is still a problem 15 to 20 games into the season, it's going to get messy. So definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about Vooch's start to the season. You know, Bulls fans hating on him already and already wanting the Bulls to trade him. And like I said, even though he has struggled, he's hit a lot of big shots to start the season. He also leads the Chicago Bulls with 11 rebounds per game. He also ranks second in assists on the Bulls, third in steals, and first in screen assists, an average of 4.6 that places him 11th in the NBA. You know, he is a two-time All-Star. He's a great shooter for his career. I do expect this to turn around. I think he's just in a slump right now. You know, even Zach LaVine said, I think Vooch is fine. We're going to continue to give him the ball and show trust in him. Obviously, Vooch is an All-Star. I believe he'll hopefully come out of this slump soon. Even DeMar DeRozan agreed on this. He talked about Vooch's, you know, I'd say kind of bounce back fourth quarter and just him making big shots. DeMar said he's an ultimate professional. You know, he's just not a regular NBA player. He's an all-star, a franchise player. He'll be back soon. I trust that. He's just in a slump right now. And if you really just think of big picture, you know, Vooch and the Bulls have had a lot of problems, let's be honest. And this Chicago Bulls team is 7-3 to start the season. I couldn't be happier. And the next topic in today's video is about some trade talk and some trade rumors that I've seen a lot of Bulls fans talking about on Twitter. You know, huge shout out to C-Red Fred for putting out this poll on Twitter and just talking about this whole topic. To start the season, and honestly this offseason, there's been already injuries and trade rumors surrounding Patrick Williams and Coby White. Of course, both of them are hurt right now. Coby is expected to return soon, but he put out this poll on Twitter asking Bulls fans if you would trade Patrick Williams or Coby White in a potential trade to acquire Christian Wood from the Rockets. And I'd say Christian Wood is a really solid power forward in the NBA. He has a lot of potential. He's still super young. But C-Red Fred was saying that this Bulls team can win a title. And I'm not sure about that yet. The season's really young. I wouldn't put it past him. You know, Phoenix made a great run last year. The NBA, you never know what's going to happen. But let me know below today's video if you guys would trade Patrick Williams or Coby White to trade for Christian Wood. I voted no. I'd only trade Coby as of right now. I'm really high on Coby and Patrick Williams, but I just thought this was very interesting. I've seen a lot of Bulls fans talk about this on Twitter. You know, Christian Wood is only 26. He is a 6'9 center or power forward. He has a 7'3 wingspan. And for this regular season with the Houston Rockets, he's been playing about 33 minutes a night, putting up 18 points per game, shooting 47% from the field and 37% from three-point range. He's also been averaging 12 rebounds per game, 2 assists, a steal, and a block a game as well. He's a very good and so I'd just say all around solid power forward in the NBA. I just don't know if the Bulls trading Patrick Williams and Coby White for him would really push them over the top and possibly be title contenders. I was talking about the Bulls title chances in my latest Chicago Bulls news video. Definitely check out that video and leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about that topic. And the last topic in today's video, I just wanted to talk about this with some Bulls fans. Let me know below today's video if the Chicago Bulls should start Derrick Jones Jr. over Javonte Green. You know, our tourist fan club, you know, shout out to my guy. He said this was a huge dub for the Bulls last night. You know, the Bulls bench was really solid in Ayo, Derrick, and Tony Bradley on a night when Lonzo and Vooch struggled with their shot. I feel like the bench is just filled with energy, hustle. You know, they're pretty consistent, especially on the defensive end. I really like Javonte Green, but I really do like Derrick Jones Jr. more, especially with his length. You know, I feel like he should be starting at the 4 over Javonte Green. That's just me. You know, Javonte Green has been really active on the boards, putback dunks. You know, he's obviously a lob threat. And honestly, to start the season, he's been shooting the 3 ball pretty solid as well. I just believe it's all about just playing time and confidence with him. You know, he was talking about on what he can bring to the Bulls. He said as much energy as he can, grabbing rebounds, you know, dunking on people, trying to protect the rim and stuff. Let me know below today's video if you guys want the Bulls to start Derrick Jones Jr. or Javonte Green at the 4. I feel like Derrick Jones Jr. just might help the Bulls offense and defense more in my opinion. But nonetheless, leave some comments and questions talking about all the rumors and topics that I talked about in today's video. You know, last night was a huge W. I'm really happy as a Bulls fan. It's just been a fun start to the season. Thank you guys for all the love on the past few videos and the channel. Leave some comments and questions below today's video. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.